Hello, everyone, and welcome to this launch webinar of Data Action Platform. Really excited to have you all here, people from all over the world and all industries. Really nice to see, and that you share this special occasion with us. We're launching Data Action Platform today, the Swiss Army knife for bulk data actions in Salesforce. First, let me walk you through our speakers for today. On the left, you see Ruben, my colleague. He's a product owner for Plauti. And on the right-hand side, you see me. I'm a product marketing manager. And the two of us are part of the product team that brings Data Action Platform to you. Today, we have an agenda that looks as follows. We'll briefly explain the reasoning for creating Data Action Platform. We'll explain you how it works by showing briefly all the functionality that is involved. We'll discuss the additions that are available, and we have a limited special offer for all of you. And we finish off with a Q&A. We expect to take around 45 minutes of your time, including the Q&A. And feel free to ask any questions via the Q&A in the Zoom panel. So yeah, without further ado, let's dive straight in. A few words on Plauti. We're a data management solutions provider for Salesforce that allow to unlock a customer 360 within Salesforce or a single source of truth. We've been doing so for over 10 years, and we belong amongst the most popular solutions on the Salesforce App Exchange. We're native-force.com. Most of our solutions, or actually all of our solutions, are native to Salesforce.com. And our solutions are enjoyed by over 1,800 customers worldwide. You might know us from solutions such as Plauti Data Management, Duplicate Check, and Record Validation. And today we're adding a product to the family, Data Action Platform. Amongst these customers are some big names like Sony, Education First, Walt Disney, and Boston Scientific. One of the big reasons to create Data Action Platform has to do with our mission. Our mission is to create data happiness for every Salesforce user. And our definition of Salesforce happiness or data happiness is that everyone that works with data in Salesforce should be able to enjoy it to the fullest. And it's a state of being where data contributes to you achieving your goals and achieving your goals in a fun way, so that it really helps you do a great job. Data happiness is also similar for us to having a complete view of the customer. You can only do a great job if you have a complete view and a trusted view of the customer, a so-called customer 360. But there can be hurdles along the way. And one of the last hurdles to take is bad data quality. For instance, if you have siloed databases that you connect to Salesforce, or you have human error, or just simply data decay, all these factors can lead to data quality issues such as duplicates, outdated data, or incomplete data. And at Plauti, we believe that true data quality can only be achieved if everyone who works with data quality is able to contribute to data quality, or who works with data is able to contribute to data quality. And end users often know best what is good data, what is bad data, and how to improve that data. So therefore, in our opinion, they should also have the functionality to contribute to better data quality, and they should have the tools to do so. And therefore, all of our solutions, they empower, or they allow admins to empower end users to help in improving and maintaining data quality. And this is also the case for Data Action Platform. This is one of the reasons why we created Data Action Platform. We also did a lot of research amongst admins and end users, what functionality they are missing in Salesforce right now. And Data Action Platform is the answer to the top 3 to 4 answers that we're missing in Salesforce right now. So data action platform is another step on the road towards achieving data happiness for everyone. And we're adding a tool to the data quality toolbox. To be more specific, the Swiss Army knife of data quality. It's the most complete bulk data action solution out there at the moment. And it offers a lot of mass actions, but it's more than a mass action tool. It's also a platform that is highly configurable and really secure. But there's one person that can do a lot better in explaining what data action platform is, and that's my colleague, Ruben. So Ruben, take it away.
Yeah, thank you, Tim. Hi, everyone. Thank you for joining this webinar. I see a lot of familiar names in the attendee list. And yeah, let me start by sharing my screen here and take over the presentation from Tim. So yeah, we created the data action platform and we worked hard on it. And besides the ability to run bulk actions in Salesforce, it's a platform as well. And I want to focus on the platform first. And I promise I'm not going to show you a lot of slides. We'll do a quick demo in a few seconds. But I think it's good to highlight what the platform is. So the data action platform allows you to allocate bulk actions to Salesforce users, and you can run them in Salesforce via different ways. And if we take a look at the data action platform flow, and then we start on the left side with the execution method. So we have different ways on the platform to execute bulk actions. 2 of them we're going to see today. Those are the list view. So we can select records from a list view and then execute any bulk action on them. But we also have the dep job, which is a batch process in which you can select any number of records and run a bulk action on those records. And that can be a really large number of records as well, which makes things very interesting. We run natively on the Salesforce platform. That means that we do not transfer data off the Salesforce servers to work with it or to activate or to execute bulk actions on. So after you decide what execution method you want to use, we can bring up the action launcher. And in the action launcher, you're able to select records and select the object. And using data action platform, we can work with any object in Salesforce. There are no limitations there. Also custom objects if you might be using them. And in the action launcher, you are able to set up advanced filters to target a subset of data in your object. Because most likely you do not want to run all bulk actions on all data. You really want to target a specific subset of data in your processes. In the action launcher, you will then configure the action. So for example, if you do a mass update, which we'll see in the quick demo in a second, you set fields, you set values, you configure what you want to do, after which you can run the action that you just configured. We can do that asynchronous or synchronous. If we do it in a batch context, we run it on the background. And if we run it on a list view, normally that's on a fewer number of records, we will run it synchronously, so right away while you wait. In the platform, it's really important to monitor everything that happens. And therefore, we have an audit log. And the audit log allows you to track all the actions that you or your users do with the platform. So everything that changes data, everything that adds something is recorded in an audit log, which we think is really important. So you could say that the data action platform is the ability to allocate data actions to Salesforce users that can be run via execution methods granted to them, which are tracked in an audit log. And that basically means that you have the ability to, for example, you see 3 users here, decide that user A has access to the account hierarchy and the ownership and the mass update action. User B has access to 3 different actions, and user C is not able to access the platform at all. So that's also what the platform is. You decide yourself who has access to what as a Salesforce administrator. What you can also decide is what execution method they can use. For example, user A is only able to execute these actions from a list view, where user B is able to run them in a job and via the API. Just as an example. In the end, we will record everything that these users do in the audit log, right? So that's basically what the platform is, which I'll show you a couple nice things in a second. So now the actions themselves, we are launching with these 6 actions, which are right here on the screen, which allows you to do a lot of things and a lot of nice things with your data. And eventually, we will add a lot of actions, data actions, to the platform for you to make use of. So let's go to Salesforce. Let's see in action what the Salesforce what data action platform does in Salesforce. And I've prepared a demo, and the first part of the demo is that I will scrub a lead list. I just did an import of 231 leads, and I want to basically work with these leads, scrub them before I will send them over to my sales department, because I want to do a couple of things before that. So these are the leads that I've imported. I've gotten them from a trade show, the Salesforce World Tour, and I can work with this data set by going to the DAP job. So this is the place where we can start a job to run a bulk action on a set of data, on a subset of data that you define. And I can do that by clicking the new job button on the top right. You can see in the overview that I ran some jobs before. And the first thing I want to do is run a mass update on the records that I just imported. So mass update imported leads is what I give in. Then I select the object I want to run a bulk action on. And I'm going to select the lead object. And as a last step, I can add the filter that I want to use to target that specific subset. Well, all these leads attended the trade show. That was the World Tour in San Francisco. So I'm going to add that as a filter. But I do not want to target all leads that are from that ever went to the World Tour in San Francisco. I only want to target the ones that I've imported today. So I'm going to import or add an additional filter based on created date. And as an operator, I'm going to use a date literal, and I'm going to say the records that I've created today. Now, it is possible to add filter logic here. So I can say 1 or 2. This is 1 or 2. This is standard process in Salesforce. And if I do not enter filter logic, it will use the AND operator. So it will get me leads that attended the World Tour in San Francisco and they were created today. So clicking next, if you remember the flow, we will get the action launcher in which we can pick the action that we want to use. And I want to start off with updating these leads. So I'm going to click mass update and click next. And then I'm allowed to set fields and values that I want to update on this set of records. And what I want to do, I want to update the lead source. And I want to update the lead source fields with a value that the lead source is from a trade show, right? We can update any field in the mass update action, also custom actions. So you can add the fields here. You can update as many fields as you like. And there's not a limit on the number of records that we can process. So that's really cool. Clicking next will get me a summary. This is always what we do before you execute something. We show you a summary of what you're about to do. And right now I'm going to update the 231 records. And I'm going to update the lead source to trade show. I'm then going to start it. So this runs asynchronously on the background. So I can do something else and just let this run. And eventually it will complete. You can see here it's in progress. And it's rather quick, so we can wait for it. Second thing I would like to do is assign the ownership of all the leads that I've imported to a group of users. And we can do that using the data action platform as well. So I'm going to add a new job and I'm going to target the same list of records, assign ownership of imported leads. I'm going to select the lead object and I'm going to add that same filter again rather quickly because you already saw that part, right? I'm going to use the created date with the operator date literal that equals today. Date literals are awesome. Yeah, you can also set, for example, last week or last quarter. Really nice stuff. I'm going to click next. And then I'm going to pick the assign ownership action. And the assign ownership action is really cool. We put in a lot of thought in this. I've got the 231 records here, and the assignment is currently set to split even. So I'm gonna take a quick sip of my water because my throat is not working with me. So now I can add users that I want to implement in distributing the ownership of these records, right? And I can search in my user object, but also I can target a group, for example, the entire sales team or the entire marketing team. But what is a better team than, of course, the Avengers, right? I'm a big fan of the Avengers, so yeah, I want to give these leads to these guys: Iron Man, Captain America, the Hulk, Black Widow. And because the assignment is set to split even, all of these team members will get an even number of records, the 231 records here. So if I click next now, you will see the summary. So every record will get 85 records, and the Black Widow gets 75. And we use the round robin system for this. So we evenly distribute the leads towards the users that you select. You can also change the assignment to a custom distribution because Iron Man is really quick. I want to give him 40% of the leads. Captain America will get 20. The Incredible Hulk, I don't trust him that much, will only get 5%. And then the Black Widow gets 35. So yeah, basically allows you to decide who gets what. And it's really nice. You could also add a queue, for example, so a sales queue, and distribute a percentage of the leads that you target to those users. So that's what I want to do. So Iron Man now gets 93 records instead of the 85 earlier, and I'm simply going to start it, and it's added to my job overview, and the assignment of these records is now divided amongst these users that I've selected. So you see that it's in progress, really nice. The last thing I want to do with this data set is create a follow-up tasks for my users, because I want to reach out to the people that I spoke to on the trade show. And I can do that by using the create a task bulk action. We're gonna create a new job again, create a follow-up task for Iron Man. And then I select the object I want to work with, add the same filter again. By the way, in a future release, we are going to work with predefined filters. So you don't have to set over and over again the same filters. One of the things that we're also gonna work on while I'll set this filter is the ability to create macros. So you can create a macro for a pre-configured action. You don't have to reconfigure the action for executing it each time. Really nice stuff. I'm gonna tell you more about that at the end. And I'm gonna set owner ID equals the user Iron Man. And then I'm gonna click next because I want to create a follow-up task for Iron Man. So I'm picking the create task action, clicking next. Then I want to assign the task to Iron Man himself. I want Iron Man to give these guys a call. Due date is not important for me because he's fast anyways. Hey, Iron Man, please reach out to these leads. Clicking next will get me the summary. Will tell you exactly what you're about to execute, and I can start it, and then it will create those follow-up tasks for Iron Man. Yeah, just to indicate that we can give you the tools to work with the data in a really nice and fast way. If we, for example, now open up one of the records that is linked to Mr. Iron Man, for example, Albert Barnes here, then you can see at the activity tab that Ironman has an upcoming task to give this new lead a call. So yeah, that was the first thing that I wanted to show you, and we are pretty curious. I'm launching a poll now. I don't know if you do these kinds of tasks right now in Salesforce a lot, but we were wondering how much time it now takes you guys. I'm launching the poll now to do a mass update and then assigning the ownership of a new imported list to a group of users, and then create a follow-up task for, let's say, 231 records. I can see a couple answers coming in. Many people say, I don't want to know, but about 2 hours is, I think, the most responded poll option at the moment. So we had 2 hours, right? And I just did it in 10 minutes. Cool stuff. Cool. Yeah, we'll take a look at the poll results at the end of the meeting. Thanks for answering it. So as a second part of the demonstration, I would like to execute an action from a list view. And we have a pretty unique action from a list view, and that is the ability to create account hierarchies via a drag and drop interface, which is really nice. So to demonstrate that, I'm going to select these McDonald's accounts here. And then I'm going to open up the action launcher. This action launcher button, which I just clicked, can be added to any list view, anywhere in Salesforce on any object. So that's really good to know. And for accounts, I got the set account hierarchy. I'm going to click next. And you will see that the 7 accounts will be displayed beneath each other. And I can now drag and drop, for example, McDonald's London to be a part of the McDonald's headquarters. And New York is part of McDonald's headquarters as well. Brooklyn is then part of New York, right? And Harlem is part of New York. Upper East Side is part of New York, and Soho as well. But that's what I wanted to do. So clicking next, getting that summary again, what we're updating in these accounts, and then I can start it. Well, if we do it from a list view, it's executed synchronously. So right away, you don't have to wait. And if I finish and then open up, for example, a McDonald's headquarters, and then take a look at the account hierarchy, then you see the hierarchy that we just created. And this might look pretty simple, but if you wanted to achieve this in Salesforce itself, it's a really time-consuming task. You'd have to open up all the accounts individually and update the parent ID. And it will take you probably 10, 15 minutes to achieve such a thing. It's really hard to keep track of the hierarchy that you have, that you don't have a visual overview like this in which you can make changes. So yeah, a really nice tool which you can allocate to your users in account list views, for example. So yeah, that's what I wanted to show you guys in the demo. I'm gonna quickly go back to the slides here. Because yeah, we want to talk about the future of DEP as well. All the things that we now saw and the 6 actions that we launched with is now available on the App Exchange. But we're not stopping there. Of course, we have big plans for the platform, and some of these plans, yeah, we want to highlight today. So we are currently working on the ability to create scheduled jobs. We just saw the DEP job, right, in which we can configure a job and run it right away. But we want to add the opportunity to schedule these jobs. For example, to run them daily or weekly or monthly, or via a custom cron job that you insert. And this unlocks like massive value in Salesforce. For example, GDPR-wise, it could be that you are not allowed to have customer data in your database longer than 3 years, for example. So what you could do is create a scheduled job in DAP that automatically removes all the customer data that is, for example, in your database for longer than 3 years and is not touched for 3 years and meets this criteria, that criteria, this criteria. Schedule that job to run maybe every night, and automatically you are compliant with the GDPR rulings. This is just one of the use cases, but yeah, there are so many use cases for scheduled jobs, and we're bringing it to the platform in the second quarter. Will be this year, second quarter, of course. And I'm really excited about scheduled jobs. Another thing that we're launching this quarter as well is macros. And by creating a macro, you are basically able to configure or pre-configure an action and run it with a single click. So if you have a lot of repetitive tasks, or for example, the things that I just did, creating the task and creating the update and doing the assignment of the ownership, if you do that every day or on a daily basis or weekly basis, you don't want to reconfigure everything. So create a macro and just simply execute that macro as a single action without having to configure it, which unlocks, of course, big efficiency in setting all these things up. Another thing that we are introducing in the third quarter is the ability to create custom actions in Salesforce. And the custom action is able to execute your own Apex code using our platform. So if you have certain processes that are very unique for your organization, that you write classes for example, you could decide to use our platform to allocate those custom actions to the users of your choice, which unlocks great potential, of course. And it's really nice. So we're bringing that to the platform in the third quarter. And the rest of the year, we want to focus on building actions. You are probably familiar with the other tools that we have, duplicate check and record validation. We want to build integrations with these apps. We want to be able to let them work together. For example, if you run a duplicate check job and find all these duplicates, we want you to have the ability to load these results in the action launcher so you can run all the bulk actions on your duplicate results, for example. For record validation, same thing, which really unlocks potential of using all these three apps together, which is really nice, what we think. One of the things that we're launching as well is a feedback platform, because we really want to build what you guys want to have, what you want to see. So that feedback platform we're launching in the second quarter as well will enable you basically to give feedback to us, but also share your ideas for the platform with a voting system, and the things that are most popular we'll decide to build as well. So very exciting stuff for the rest of the year. So yeah, keep an eye on our website, keep an eye on all our communication channels, and yeah, we hope to see you guys using the platform really quick. So this is not my slide. This was my part, so I'm gonna give word back to Tim, who's going to tell a bit more about the value of the platform.
Yes, thank you, Ruben, for this really concise demo. I think a lot of us are really excited to see everything live in our own orgs. So thank you for that. I see some questions coming in. We'll answer those questions at the end of the webinar. Yeah, to summarize, what really distinguishes Data Action Platform is that we're at the moment the most complete mass data action solution out there. But on top of that, or on the bottom of that, basically, we're the only solution that offers a platform next to that. And this platform wasn't really highlighted in the demo, but it also allows you to configure actions for specific users as well, next to the audit log and the actions that can be configured. So if you look at the benefits, I think it's pretty obvious that it allows you to save time and boost your productivity, as you don't have to work outside of Salesforce anymore or execute a lot of actions in Salesforce. It will increase Salesforce adoption if you empower your end users with some of this functionality. They won't revert to their sales tools, other sales tools, or their Excels. So they spend more time within Salesforce. And at the same time, this also increases data quality, of course, because all up-to-date data stays within Salesforce. And you might decrease your tech stack overhead, as you might have multiple solutions right now to provide all these different mass actions. You might have different apps, different components, and we hope that our solution makes all these different components and apps obsolete, and you have one solution that decreases your tech stack overhead. Well, there are multiple editions available for those of you that are interested in Data Action Platform. We'll start with a free edition. It comes with 4 actions out of the box. It's mass update, convert, delete, and creating tasks. It's available for an unlimited amount of users, and you can run those actions from a list view up to 200 records per action. The next edition is the free edition plus all these features. You have the ability to run batch jobs, as Ruben displayed. So you can use this functionality to execute actions on more than 200 records, up to millions of records, basically. You can configure your actions to execute them in the batch jobs or in the list view. And in the future, some more functionality will be added to that. It's capped at 5,000 records per action. And with the macros, you have 5 macros, the ability to set 5 macros. In addition to the 4 actions of the free version, you have mass assign ownership and set the account hierarchy. The pricing for advanced is $450 per month. It's billed annually, but we have a limited offer available, which is $330 per month. Next is the premium edition. And in addition to the advanced version, you have the ability to assign actions to user profiles. The audit log is available, or you have the ability to enable it. And it's capped at 10,000 records per action. As Ruben explained, there's some more functionality coming in Q2 of this year. The scheduling of jobs and custom actions are also coming. You will have 5 custom actions. And as opposed to 5 macros, you will have 20 macros available. And last but not least, there's some personal onboarding. The pricing will be $870 a month. It's billed annually, but the special limited offer is $650 per month. Well, I think now it's time for our Q&A. So let's take a look at the questions that have been asked.
There was already one interesting question, Tim, about the audit log. Peter is asking if you can export the audit log, and that reminded me that I didn't even show the audit log, but it was part of my plan. So just while the question is coming in, let me quickly show you the audit log. If you go to the DAP setup here, you're able to access the audit log at the left side. So all the things that we just did, right, is now displayed here in the audit log. So we did the set account hierarchy, we created the task, we did the assignment of ownership. So if you enter the info modal here, you can see exactly what we did. All the metadata is in here. You can see what records were selected, what filters were applied. So this is the action audit log. And besides that, we got a record audit log, which shows all the changes that were made to the records individually. So for example, by applying a filter here on record ID, you can see a complete audit trail of the records and see exactly what Data Action Platform changed in that record. Really nice stuff. And to answer the question of Peter, yes, we're able to export this. All this data is in Salesforce objects, so you can use Data Loader, for example, to export them from Salesforce and use it in Excel or wherever you want to use it. Any other questions, Tim?
Yes, there's one question about nonprofit pricing. Yeah, we do offer nonprofit pricing. We have a discount for nonprofits. So yeah, I think it's best to contact our sales team via the chat on our website, and they can walk you through. Let's see.
Yeah, Arjen is asking, can you clone jobs? So probably he's referring to the DAP job. Currently, we do not have a clone functionality, but what is possible when we have the scheduled jobs later on is to start a scheduled job with the click of a button. So it runs via the schedule that you set, but we'll have a button as well, which allows you to start a scheduled job right away. So that way you wouldn't have to use like a literal clone button, but basically does the same thing. Hope that answered your question, Arjen.
Yeah, and then there's another question on the amount of filters that can be added from an anonymous entity. How many filters can be added when choosing which records to mass update? Is there a limit?
No, there is no limit. So when we set up that filter, right, we were able to add filter lines, and you can set as many filter lines as you'd like to really target the specific subset of data in your object. So there's no limit there. No.
Okay. And then there's a question from Oggy. Is it possible to schedule some of these mass data jobs? Well, I think that one has been answered. Scheduling will be coming to our platform in Q2.
Yeah, so Sean is asking, would there be any possibility of data import in the future if it doesn't already exist via your system? So the thing is, with the data action platform, we're native to the platform, which is really interesting from a data security point of view. But it also means that we can only work with data that is in Salesforce. So we're not able to work with data external to the Salesforce platform. So that is not a possibility. So you'd have to do the import, and then we can basically execute all of our bulk actions on the data set that you've imported, Sean. I hope that answered your question. Then Sargam is asking, can you please elaborate a bit more on the custom actions? Sure. So yeah, this is something that we're launching in the third quarter, and it allows you to create your own action in the action library. If you're here in the setup, and if you find the action library, you will have the possibility to create your own and to execute an action using your own custom Apex code, using our platform to execute it. So, for example, if you have a very specific class that you execute or that you want to execute by your users, then you can create an action here, add it to the platform, and use the assignment to allocate it to the users of your choice in the execution method of your choice. So that's yeah, what you can set up using the platform, and you can basically do anything in Apex, right? So that's really nice. I hope that that answered your question.
Yeah, then we have a question from Jon. How is the scheduled jobs different from the existing possibilities, apart from a nicer user interface?
Yeah, that's a really good question, actually. So yeah, we of course use the Salesforce possibilities, the platform capabilities of the platform. But if you're not able to write Apex classes, if you're not really able to schedule Apex classes and stuff like that, then it's pretty difficult, right, to make use of all these things. So what Data Action Platform is, it allows you to use the platform capabilities of Salesforce via indeed a nice user interface with an action library that is going to be extended with all different kinds of action. And it also allows you to execute your own action. So basically, I think what you described is correct. And it's a really user-friendly way to use the platform capabilities of Salesforce, making it available to anyone, also the parties that are not able to develop and write Apex code themselves, or that they want to put the time in it, right? Because setting up a system like this, of course, takes a lot of time as well. Hope that answered your question.
Then there's another question. Can we save the account ownership activity log and rerun it again when required?
Yeah, good question. So we indeed keep a log of all the activity. So if ownership has changed, then yeah, we can log that in the audit log, so you can see exactly what happened to your records over time. And if you want to rerun the dividing of ownership of a group of records, then right now you'd have to configure that action, right? But in Q2 we're launching the macros, and you can configure that so you don't have to reconfigure the account assignment or the assignment ownership action each time. And you can run it with a click of a button and automate it that way.
Another question from Vijay. Does mass lead conversion come out in the first version? If so, is this available in free trial? So we do a proof of concept. Thanks. Yeah, mass convert is available, right, Ruben, in the free version. And basically in the free trial, you will have all the features available that we have right now. So you can try out everything you want and do an extensive proof of concept, basically. Another question, are custom actions also logged in the audit log?
Yep, definitely.
Okay. Question from
asking,
yeah.
Will your product be available through the App Exchange, thus meeting Salesforce's security standards? Most definitely. As a matter of fact, it is live since an hour or so. So you can now go to the App Exchange and install it right away. And Tim will share a slide with directions about it in a second.
I think a last question. What options do you provide while converting leads? Can you choose multiple leads and convert them to one account? Can you map custom fields?
Yeah, let's quickly take a look at the convert action. We didn't see it in the demo, so I'm just going to create a new dub job for converting leads, not applying a filter right now, and then I'm selecting the mass convert option. So what we can do, we of course select records that we want to convert in the first step, and then we convert them to contacts and accounts. And if you're in a personal account environment, this interface will change to a personal account interface. And we indeed have the option to create new accounts or choose an existing account, so that meets your requirement, right, to convert a selection of leads toward an account of your choice. And then we can also decide to, if we link them to, for example, McDonald's headquarters, what do we want to do with the contacts? Do we want to create new ones, or do you want to convert them to existing ones? We can create opportunities in the process with a variable name, so we can use field variables from the lead that are then going to be part of the opportunity name. But this is more or less the functionality that we offer. The mapping of custom fields, etc., is done in Salesforce configuration. So if you want to do that, you can use the Salesforce setup to map fields. This is not part of our tool. We basically execute the convert itself with these parameters. And if you want to decide what comes over in terms of custom fields to accounts and contacts, it's Salesforce configuration. I hope that answered your question, Vijay. Then I guess back to you, Tim, right?
Yeah. So I'll share my screen. Well, this basically concludes our launching webinar. There are some more questions, but I think it's best to, if you want to answer right away, to go to our website. Our team of experts are waiting there for you to answer all of your questions. And I'm pretty sure that all of you are pretty excited to start with that, to help you decide which package would fit your needs, or which edition would fit your needs. Our team of experts are also available to help you with this, and they will answer your questions via the chat on our website, but it's also possible to schedule a one-on-one to do a deep dive into to the product first, for instance. Anyway, Plauti.com is the way to go, and we'd love to hear from you. So thank you for joining for today, and we hope to talk soon. Bye-bye.